Devontae Swing.
Devontae Swing of Uptown. Eddie, if you want to talk about Devontae?
You know, it's crazy, man. Devontae is so musical. Devontae had like 10 keyboards in his house. And
all day.
From the church, you know, and tell you a crazy story. I had actually met Devontae. He told me this a year after they signed. He said, you know, I guess we did a show in the Carolinas. Him and KT came to the show when we were doing soundtrack. And they were asking me, I guess, about the drum machine. And I showed him the SV12. He said I showed him the SV1200. And I was like, yo, this is SV12, and this is what we use. And he said he went and bought one and started making records and then doing demos. And then they end up at Uptown like a year or two later with their demos. I was like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yo, let me tell you something. They came to the Apollo. When they came to the Apollo, we were doing the guy show.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, Dre got a new, somebody came up to me and said, Dre got a new group, Jodeci. And I was like, yo, when I went to go study and hear their music, it blew me away. But I was like, okay, I got to go before that right now.
Because I saw you when you were doing rehearsals for the culture tour, and then you got back on the drums and you're almost teaching the. I don't know if you're showing the drummer and the band. Look, this is. I was like, look at and I think that's the thing that people are like. Wow, this guy's really, because people don't. If people might not realize that side of you, because most people just go in the studio and program. Did you ever do that on tour? Did you just go behind and just?
I did.
Do the Phil Collins?
I mean, so this next is I can't let the cat out the bag, but yeah, you're gonna see a lot of instrumentation coming on, like in the latter shows that's coming up with Jodeci. You know, even on this tour, we had I built Devontae this grand piano, and we're supposed to come through the whole lately segment, and he at the last minute he said, nah. I said, come on. He said, nah. So we scrapped it, but we're gonna put it back in the show. Because I had a whole thing where, and I built this nice piano, man. It was always, if you look at the block party tour, it was always sitting on the side of the stage, ready to roll out any night. So I would ask him in the dressing room, you want to play tonight? He's like, nah. So it was, if you look, it's always sitting on the side. He's ready to roll it out anytime. But he wouldn't want to do it, but he's gonna do it. Though.
But you bring out the drums though.
I jump back on the drums, what he do lately, so.
Yeah. Oh goodness! I don't know if you remember Bryce Wilson from Groove Theory.
Yeah, Groove Theory. Yeah.
And I was saying to him when I interviewed him, I was saying, who is it? What's his favorite album? And he says, "Diary of the Madman" is the greatest R&B album he's ever heard.
Yeah. And when I first started out as a producer, that was like I started out mimicking Teddy Riley and Kyle West, but who blew my mind was Devontae. Devontae is not from this planet.
Yeah.
I would go either to his house because he lived like 10 minutes from me, in Jersey. Everybody was there.
Yeah.
Go to his house and be like, what is his studio is a spaceship? Literally. Like you step on the floor, touch the door slides open, like or I would go to the Hit Factory when they had the facility was brand new at the time, and they had a room that we called the Star Wars room, where the console would like damn near stretch around the room. It was like 96 channels, was crazy. So I would go to see Devontae in there, and that dude just inspired me. That Diary of a Mad Band, that album, best R&B album of all time to me. Like, so that was really like Devontae was my absolute inspiration. That dude is.
And he said about when when he came into you guys' studio that it was like a spaceship that lights.
Right. Right. Because when we did that album, they had the SL board, that SSL board, the new one. I think it was like $3 million. We was the first group to use it, and it wrapped all around you like the Enterprise. So it was at first it was just the original one was just straight across. We had the one that curved around and it went all the right. So you would sit in the middle and you had like all these like controls, like it was like, Sky, beam me up Scotty or something.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, so it's like, the people that had never seen it, so we would bring the lights now because it's like a million lights. And you got levers and meters, and so it looked like you were like trying to fly the studio out the, out the city. But yeah. And nobody had never really seen it. We was the first group to use it in the Hip Factory in New York City.
He said it was like going into a spaceship that he had never, it just was the wildest thing. And, everyone acknowledges that, both you and your brother, you just took music and R&B to another level. Do you think we're going to, is there ever a need for Jodeci to bring out new music? I know that you're doing yours, or do you think it's great that we remember the classics and then you guys continue doing your individual stuff?
I think, when we asked Michael Jackson to remake Thriller if he was alive, God rest his soul, or asked Prince to remake Purple Rain, could he? Because, sometimes I think being that people sometimes want to judge you on what you've done instead of what you can do, sometimes as an artist, and in their mind, they're still hearing Forever My Lady. So we create Forever My Girlfriend. Well, that don't sound like Forever My Lady. It could be the same chords, the same music. Oh, that don't sound like Forever. We can do the same thing, but just change one word. But all of a sudden, in their mind, they're holding on to something that you cannot duplicate. So I think that, can we make new music? Of course we can. Can we make great music? Of course we can. Will we? I don't know. The possibility, we always think around, and, like me and Casey go to the studio and we'll make something amazing. And then the next thing you know, we're just sitting on our computer forever. Yeah. But, so it's like, sometimes you leave well enough alone and you just keep moving forward. And, if it comes back to making new music, great. But if we can keep touring and giving people what they really like and what they want to hear, that's great too. So, you never know. We're not close to the possibility of making another album. But right now, the most important thing that is on our menu is what we got coming up. It's going to be announced May Tuesday. And the biopic that, that we've been scraping and scrambling for the last decade and a half to try to get made. I always me and Devontae always wrote songs. Like, we wrote songs as kids. Like, we was right. Anything we thought of, like, we had a song called Just Share. I remember one time my brother had some chicken or something. And I was like, man, just give me something. He wanted to give me his chicken. I wrote a song called Just Share. And it was like, we were writing stupid songs. One of them was Get a Whooping by Our Parents. And I made a song called 40 Lashes. It was like, we just write silly songs. But actually, some of the melodies we actually kept and used as real songs. So it's like, we would write all the time. And, we never thought nothing of it. Like, when Devontae wrote Come and Talk to Me, the first time I heard it, I think he was 16 years old. And he played it for me. I was like, and this before I even thought about doing Jodeci. It was like he had wrote the song. And I was like, man, this song should be on the radio. And it was just a song he wrote. He gave it to me in cassette tape. And I kept listening to it. I was like, this is something. And I was like, man, this is something. It was Come and Talk to Me. And it had a girl singing on it. Then he put JoJo on it first. Then it was KC on it. And it just kind of grew into what it is now. But it was just a song he had made. He would write songs like that all the time. And, if he dug back in his catalog of songs, he could, we could actually make songs forever. But, a lot of those songs ended up on Forever My Lady album. They were just songs that he had just made up on the fly. And, from then on, it was Forever My Lady, then the Diary of the Mad Band, and the Short After Party in the Hotel. But a lot of those songs came back from Forever My Lady days that we wrote when we was teenagers.
Wow.
Love You for Life was written at the same time Forever My Lady was written, So that's how that went though. And me, as far as I always wrote, but me just being around my brother and just learning and him guiding me on how to do it as far as like my production with it and everything, I just kind of took it more serious as time went on,
Oh, so those early days, and I wonder how it's like having an older brother that's extremely talented like that. Does it mean that does it limit how you brought your stuff? Did you think, no, I can't bring my songs because of that? Or how was it for you?
When we fight so much in the studio. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. We argue so much in the studio. Like, get on up. He hated get on up. He's like, he hated it. But I was like, man, I'm telling you. So we went back and forth. And he'll bring me a song. And what you think about this? And I don't like the drum. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Can you call Justin? Yeah, so he'll bring me a song and be like, well, what do you think about the drums on this? I'm like, I don't like this. And he exactly what I tell him, he'll do the opposite. That's just how he is. But I have to always credit my brother for telling me this. When we first moved to New York, we moved to the projects in the Bronx, and I will always go play basketball every day. And every single day, every day. And he told me one time, he said, listen, He said, what you need to do is, you ain't getting paid to go out there to that park and play basketball. You better pick up this drum machine and spend as much time on this drum machine and writing these songs and this keyboard as you do on that basketball court, because this is going to keep you paid for the rest of your life. And that's what he told me, that always stood out in my head. And I was like, you're absolutely right. He said, you don't get paid to do that, but this is what you get paid for. Wow. And he told me, I was like, I always remember that he told me that. And I was like, you know what? Just as much time as I spend for things that I don't get paid for, I better spend time for the things that's going to support me for the rest of my life. So
yeah,
that's one good bit of advice he told me.
Looking back at all your catalogs, what was your favorite, or 2-3 favorite Jodeci songs?
Cry for You was one of my favorite. Like I said, that was Freaking You, Come and Talk to Me. List goes on, man. Forever My Lady, of course. But my all-time favorite was Cry for You. And I said my top 3 was Cry for You, Freaking You, and Come and Talk to Me. Probably my favorite.
Yeah, it's such a powerful stuff.
It's been an hour since you've been gone, and that's too long, so come back home. I can't live without you, so I'll cry for you. Do anything that I can to feel the touch from your hand. Sorry that I wronged you, baby, what do I do? You know you're everything I do. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Do what you want me to. I will get down on my bended knee for you. Get on my knees for you. What else is there to do? I don't know, but I'll try. Baby, I'll cry for you. Baby, tonight, right here, I think I'm tired. Help me out, oh yeah. Girl, you like a trap. When you're not here, I can't think without you. My mind is always with you. Yeah, it's amazing what you do to me, to keep me falling in love with you. Girl, you all that I know. Where else can I go? I say you're everything I do. I would do anything, do what you want me to. I would do anything. Get down on my knees for you. I would do anything. What else is there to you to do? I don't know, but I'm fine. Baby, for you. I may cry late at night, that's alright. Keep on crying, baby. Keep on crying, baby. I would cry for you. Yes, I am that. Yes, I am that. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, baby. Said I'm begging, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, I just can't take it no more. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the Halftime Chat community. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, why don't you consider being a member? That's a way of supporting the channel, but also getting a lot of videos ahead of time, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and some exclusive content that doesn't get shared. But anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of Halftime Chat.
I begin to